Now, former President Trump is facing dueling court cases today. Now, he was physically in the New York courtroom afterwards saying, quote, "So instead of being in South Carolina and other states campaigning, I'm stuck here." Now, CNN notes that Trump wasn't stuck in the courthouse. He didn't need to be there. He voluntarily showed up, adding that as for South Carolina, his next scheduled campaign appearance in the state is next week. Now, what do you make of Trump's physical presence in the New York courtroom?
Well, that's a campaign stop for him. He raises money by going to court. His campaign is his criminal justice system or his charges, his criminal cases, and his criminal cases are his campaign. He doesn't really have other than a campaign organization. He does some rallies, and he's got a fundraising operation. But these court cases are part of his criminal defense and part of his campaign. And that's why Nikki Haley and others can't make any ground. It's all earned media. And every time he appears in court and plays the victim role, even though he drives the narrative, every time he does that, he raises more money, becomes more popular with the Republican base. But it's a sugar high, because at some point in time, reality is going to smack him in the face. The criminal justice charges or the felony charge are going to be tried. He's either going to be acquitted or convicted. And if he gets convicted, right, it's a strong possibility or probability that he's going to go to jail. That's the reality facing him, regardless of whether he's running for president of the United States or not.
On that note, a judge has set a March 25th trial date for Trump's hush money case. That was the New York one we saw this morning. Now, this would mark the first time a former president and a current presidential nominee would be tried in a criminal case. How significant is that?
Well, it's pretty significant and pretty awesome stuff. The first time in our over 200 years of this democracy, this experiment that has been the longest surviving and succeeding democracy in world history. But again, Donald Trump drives this narrative. This is a simple case. It's a paper case. Either he falsified the records or he didn't. And this case is going to take a couple weeks, maybe 3 weeks, because of picking the right jury. But it's going to go forward.
Now, today in the Georgia case, in the motion to hear or disqualify Fulton County DA Fani Willis, lead prosecutor Nathan Wade faced questioning about his alleged relationship with her.
I think the whole process is really unnecessary and going nowhere. I find Wade to be a very credible witness. The salacious details of the relationship, the prosecutor and the defense tried to stay away from that, but you can't. And the reality is, for Fani Willis, both of them, or at least one of them, Wade, could withdraw from the case without any political ramifications. And yet they're fighting to stay in the case because they don't believe they've done anything wrong. The cross-examination is about trying to confirm whether they had a relationship dating back, I think, to before he was hired, or did it start after he was hired? That's going to be critical to the appearance of a conflict. Secondly, did Fani Willis benefit and did Wade benefit as a result of that relationship? And did that drive the prosecution of Donald Trump? The investigation started before all of this, well before 2019. And I just don't think that dog's going to hunt. It is just a huge sideshow. It's not going to help either one of them or the criminal justice system.
Now, as for Fani Willis, you have actually fundraised for her before. Now, if the judge disqualifies her, what does that mean for this case?
Well, I think that means the whole team is going to have to withdraw. They will appoint a special prosecutor. They may reinvestigate it, but I don't think that's going to happen per se, because in order for it to be an actual conflict, there's got to be some watch the money and drive the money and see where the money goes. I don't think there's enough credible evidence to support that, or whether she got paid or this was a scheme so that Wade could get paid. There's a lot of evidence here. There's a lot of bad evidence here for those charged. And whether it's Fani Willis or another special prosecutor, this case is going to go forward. I've raised money for Fani Willis because I believe in saving this democracy. I think what she's doing and the other federal prosecutors are fighting for democracy and to preserve democracy.
Hey, Scott Bolden, thank you so much for your time.